Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Fine Foods Food Review. It's the only place on YouTube where you can see me making food. That's right, today we're gonna steer away from the instant ramen, from the takeout food, from all the random bullshit that I usually eat, and we're actually gonna cook something. So I was on YouTube and I found this really nice looking, easy recipe for sweet, spicy Korean style shrimp from a channel called Aaron and Claire. I'll leave a link to their video down in the description because they're really good YouTubers and they look like wonderful people. So I'm gonna do some sweet and spicy shrimp. I went out and got all the ingredients and I'll leave a list of the ingredients that you need down in the description, and we're also going to cook some rice using my brand new rice cooker. It's really simple and it makes amazing rice. So what we've got here is 2 cups of Thai jasmine rice. You only really need like 1 cup to serve one person, but I'm gonna leave some leftovers so I can do like egg fried rice tomorrow. So this shit's really simple. All you gotta do is put in equal parts rice and water, and then add an extra half cup of water. Hit the 1 button that's on here and you're done. So let's switch camera angles and I'll show you me cooking the fucking rice, bitch. Alright, so here you can see me filling up our final half cup of water to add to our rice cooker. Make sure that your rice has been washed beforehand, by the way. You're gonna wanna put that lid on, hit the 1 button that's on the fucking cooker, and then you're all set, baby. Alright, time to make the sauce. First up, we're putting in a tablespoon of sugar. You can use white or brown. Next up, we've got some dried chili flakes, another tablespoon of those. Next up, we're going to put in some gochujang, which is a lovely Korean spicy pepper paste. The recipe that I stole from Aaron and Claire actually calls for 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup, but I decided to use gochujang instead because, you know, I'm a fiend for that sweet, sweet, spicy Korean food, baby. Next up, we're going to put in a whole load of vinegar, apparently. You're only meant to put 1 tablespoon in, and of course, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, a staple for Asian cuisine. Finally, we're going to round it off with 2 tablespoons of water, then season with a little bit of sashimi togarashi. And finally, we're going to mix this up with a pair of chopsticks. Be prepared to be mixing for a while. This is on 4 times speed, so make sure you've done your arm workouts before you get into cooking this. Alright, so next up we're going to crush some garlic and chop up some green onions. So just hit that garlic with the flat of your blade and that will help take the papery skin off that. We're going to do 3 cloves, so don't be afraid to, put some force onto that garlic because, it's a bad boy and it deserves a little punishment. Sorry, that's so stupid, but you get what I'm trying to say. Be rough with your garlic and stick that shit into a garlic crusher. If you don't have a garlic crusher, you can just cut these really finely, but make sure that you've got a real finely minced garlic because you don't want too many chunky bits in your sauce. So once you've put a load of force into that, exercise your strong gripping hand like I have, you'll be ready to move on to cutting up some green onion, also known as spring onion. So we're going to cut this in half because we're going to save these the more hollow leaves for some decoration later, and let's just speed up this whole cutting process because I promise I can cut food really well, but it's really hard when you've got a fucking huge camera in between your legs. So sorry if my form isn't quite on point, but hey, no one's perfect. Alright, so now that our rice is done cooking, what we're going to do is give it a good old stir up with our cute little rice spatula. Make sure it's releasing a load of its steam and making it nice and fluffy. Then we're going to add some mirin, which is like a Japanese rice wine or rice seasoning that's going to give a nice sweet tang to that rice, and we're going to stir it up again, trying not to get too much of it on our laptop like some sort of fucking idiot. And then we're just going to put the lid on and let it steam for about 15 minutes before we move on. So going on to cooking the shrimp, we're going to put a whole load of sesame oil in our wok. Make sure that's coating the bottom nice and thoroughly. Next up, we're going to put in our, vegetables and shit, you know, and make those simmer up real nice. And when you feel that sweet, lovely, garlicky aroma, it's time to put in those shrimp. We're not going to stir fry them for too long, because, you know, shrimp are delicate, and you can already see the second I put them in the pan, they're starting to get all pink and shit. So, you know, be careful with your shrimp. Now comes the time to put in that sauce, and that's instantly going to cool it down, but don't you worry, because it's going to heat up real quick. And you can see it bubbling away there. Ideally, you'd let it simmer on a lower heat, but my shitty university house stove only has one heat setting, which is extra fucking hot. You can see that darkening in color, reducing down a little bit. It's going to get nice and thick, rich and flavorful, and of course super spicy, so be careful there. Now, I'm no Anthony Bourdain, and while I have been known to ingest copious amounts of cocaine and have affairs with various different waitresses, sadly, that's where the similarities between me and the late great chef end, as my presentation is somewhat lackluster. But you know what? It doesn't have to look good to taste good. Fuck you, you fucking Michelin star wankers. I don't give a fuck about how good and fancy your food looks, okay? Fuck you, jeez. And there it is. We've finished cooking. It doesn't look particularly pretty, but you know what? Food doesn't have to be fucking fancy. As long as it's delicious, that's all that matters. So let's go ahead and try out this sweet, sweet, spicy, spicy Korean style shrimp. There is no fucking way I cooked that. What the fuck? Alright, this is delicious. Try a bit of the rice with the sauce. The texture on that rice as well. That rice cooker goes nuts. A bit of rice, bit of the shrimp. See how it all goes together. It's really hot, both temperature and spice. Chili flakes and the gochujang work wonders for that spice, but I should have let that cool down for a bit. Jesus, though, that is so delicious. It's really sweet, got that spicy kick, nice saltiness to it. All in all, flavor profile goes nuts. I am unbelievably proud of myself for actually cooking something that tastes this good. This is some restaurant type shit. I do need to work on my presentation, I'll give you that much. Like, I'm not the best at cutting green onions apparently, but good onions. I am in love with this dish. So shout out to Aaron and Claire, thank you so much for bringing this recipe to my attention because it's really delicious. I'm going to try a bunch of their stuff in the future. And shout out to whoever made that rice cooker, Quest. You've done a great job of making rice cookers, and yeah, it's delicious. I'd say in the future, maybe use a little less sauce, let it reduce a bit quicker, because my shrimps are a little rubbery. Could have done with less time, but I wanted that sauce to reduce into a really thick paste. But yeah, all in all, that's an amazing dish. Damn, I could eat that forever. That's so nice. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for watching. Slightly different sort of video from me today, and maybe I'll do more in the future if you guys like this sort of content. Go ahead, subscribe, leave a like if you like this video, leave a dislike if you dislike this video, but I hope you didn't because I'm really proud of myself for doing this. As always, leave a comment telling me how much you love me, and I'll leave a comment telling you how much I love you. Spoilers, it's a lot. All right, that's about it. See you guys.